Welcome to Delta Halo, the podcast for all things Halo 5. Me lucky charms. Welcome to Delta Halo, the podcast for all things Halo 5. I am MattyIce. With me today is one Blaze Cat and one Sergeant Bobcat. How you guys doing today?
Wait, hold on. Do that again, but with a Canadian accent.
Welcome Delta Halo, podcast for all things Halo 5, eh?
Irish.
Welcome to Delta Halo, the podcast for all things Halo 5. Me lucky charms.
Australian. One more.
Oi, welcome to Delta Halo, podcast for all... It's horrible.
You're doing all of our voice acting.
They sound the same. Done. Rap. It's a rap. Let's go.
Fantastic. All right. First episode back since the new year. It has been a few weeks off. It feels good to be back recording. I've taken so much time off from gaming. It was a little ridiculous. Kat was asking if we all quit. It's been a long time since we've really had some time to get back into Halo and back on Xbox Live. But if you guys did get time in gaming, what did you do over the break?
I've been playing a lot of that new Ark game, the old PC Ark game that just got ported over. It's a survival game with a bunch of dinosaurs and stuff. It's super addicting. It's like a Minecraft for adults. I've been building huts for days. I feel like I'm having dreams of picking berries lately.
It's crazy. I read that there's more console downloads than PC. Is that what it was?
Alrighty, so that includes the free trial too, but they had 1 million people on it, I think, already for consoles, which was bigger, and they have more on consoles right now than they have on PC at any time right now too. So that's pretty nuts.
Was it a million? Was it 1 million or 2 million?
I don't know. It was million something.
Millions.
There was several zeros involved. So, I had hardly any game time at all. I feel like the last 3 weeks. So we had a little bit. I had my brothers were in town, so we played some Halo. When everyone was around and stuff like that, and hung out. But it was pretty uneventful gaming wise. Family all over the place, traveling back and forth and here and there and stuff. So haven't really got that much gaming time in. I was super pumped to come home and just relax and actually play a game and not have to worry about anything. I've also been I was fixing my computer and ordering parts, and so I pretty much built a computer by myself. So I was pretty pumped about that and got a nice PC up and running. So I was happy about that. And other than that, there's been pretty low key.
That's been a long time coming. You've been working on that for quite a bit.
Way too long. I patted myself on the back. It's been like 6 months that I've been trying to fix this thing. So
getting your streaming going?
Yeah, trying to get I can actually Twitch things and play games at the same time. So it'll be nice to get Twitch going, to get some videos going up on YouTube and stuff, and some Let's Plays and all that good stuff.
I probably played the best game out of everybody over break, I have to say. I dug out my Game Boy Color from my mom's basement back in New York when I went home for Christmas, and I busted out Pokemon Blue, and oh man, that game has aged well. That game is so much fun still. It's so addicting. I get lost in that game for hours. I wasted so many days doing that over break, but it was so much fun.
It really is a great game. It's just incredible. That was awesome. Nothing better than some Pokemon. Although I will say, we did have a damn good time playing that whatever app game that was, the trivia game or whatever it was, we played at your house. Heads up. Yeah, that game is fun. That was fantastic.
That was fun.
The one where you put it on your head?
Yeah.
That was I
great.
played that a while ago.
We had several cups at that point, so
I could not. Oh my god. We played hockey in my basement.
That was awesome.
I think I thought I broke my wrist when we were playing. It was
to set this up for everybody. It's 2 a.m. probably at this point. So it's 2 a.m. We are boozed up in Sergeant Bobcat's basement, which is it's a big basement. Furnished, big, lots of room, and we had hockey sticks and tennis balls, and we had little goals set up in his room, and we were just playing one-on-one, shooting it, trying to hit the little target, the little net, and getting points that way. And I had just beaten Sergeant Bobcat. I'm gonna throw it out there.
Yeah,
and then his brother Jared wanted a piece, so we were playing this real intense game, and it was being commentated by Sergeant as he was trying to balance on what was it called? The skateboard with like the bottle,
like an endo board.
Board.
That was like a really bad idea.
He just fell flat. Like, I don't know, not his face, because he caught himself on the heater with his wrist.
Yeah, one of those old school like what are they called? Like
yeah, I mean, like, it looks like a radiator. Heater.
Yeah, kind of one of those things. Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh, it was fantastic.
That was brutal, but that was a ton of fun.
Man, we played a lot of games in that basement.
Yeah, there were some good times down there. Video games, mini hockey. Played. Mm-hmm. I was talking about this the other day with my girlfriend, playing like balling up newspaper and like tape balls, turning off the lights and chucking them at each other across the room. Do you guys remember playing that?
I don't know.
Oh my god.
I feel like it was me, you, and Loveless.
Yeah, we set up like bases. It was like American Gladiator style.
It's awesome.
Ridiculous.
I love it. All
right, back to gaming. So, first episode of 2016. We were talking about this a little bit yesterday, and we were playing some Halo. Some gaming resolutions, things we're trying to aim for this year, trying to get better, whatever it may be. Maybe you're trying to get a certain gamer score or finish games, or I don't know. What kind of resolutions you guys trying to work towards this year? I know you kind of called one out yesterday, Kat.
I just want to work on my perfects. I think I average maybe 2 a game, and most don't add me. Most people probably average right around there, a couple. I mean, you don't see any crazy amounts of perfects. So that's what I want to work on. I want to have that stat after every game just be higher than everybody's. It's my goal.
Kind of getting those one-on-one kills.
Well, I will say that, as we'll talk about later on, you generally don't want to have that many perfects, though. I'm just saying, you kind of want your teammates around to helping you out with those shots. So.
It's good, though, to get that personal skill up.
Yeah, of course it is. It always helps to get the shooting up. So,
yeah. What about you?
Definitely good aim. I really need to finish some games. I have a lot of games that are just not finished that I've got about halfway through. Most of the single player games that I'll play, I play for a while, love them, and kind of get halfway through and don't finish. Witcher, Metal Gear Solid. I mean, just the list goes on and on. So I kind of want to get
games.
Yeah, I mean, they're great and they're awesome and they're a lot of fun, but it just seems like I get into it. But it is such a solo experience with those games that it kind of like is fun for a while, but then I want to actually do something with people. Like, it kind of needs to find the balance of that. Like, I'll go like play those games like crazy for a while and then just avoid them and like play more with friends and stuff like that. So I kind of want to balance the two out, finish it. I also have a gigantic, Steam.
What?
I got a gigantic Steam library that is unfinished and unplayed, and so those Steam sales, we just had one, and I think I got Counter-Strike Go, I got Ori Blind Forest.
Oh, yeah, good one. That's a good one.
And I got something else. I got a couple other games pretty cheap, so my list is growing of things to play. So wish I had more time.
I know, right? I got stuck playing Dying Light for a while, and that game is a lot of fun, but I don't have the time to finish it, and when the time that I do have, I want to play with you guys, so it's tough sometimes.
Did I tell you that I got Dying Light for Christmas?
Yeah, you did. We have to get on there and play the Bozak Horde.
I don't even know what that is. I completely forgot I even had that.
Oh, dude, you got to get into it. Bozak Horde, it's like an arena style thing. I guess you fight like waves of zombies and stuff, and you get like weapons and gear as rewards. I haven't done it at all because I guess it's pretty hard to do solo, but I would love to try it out.
Yeah, I'll download it.
And then the following is coming out in end of February, so that's their new expansion. Whole new world, vehicles. It's going to be awesome. Going to be so good.
Pretty great. And talk about developer doing a game right, too.
I mean, they're from Poland. They did a game right. They do DLC right. They're like doing right by the community. It's fantastic to watch what they do in social media. when
Right.
the Red Bull DLC came out for Destiny, they were all over it, mocking them, and I was absolutely loving it. Everything that they did was so
it's
good.
perfect.
It was drink for DLC. Just all you had to do was tweet a picture of you drinking water, and you were going to get free DLC. But actually, in the end, everybody got free DLC instead of having to make you go buy something. It's fantastic. They have to be gamers at heart because they're not buying into this whole microtransaction, buy DLCs. Pretty much everything up until now has been free for the most part. It's great. It makes that game so much more fun. It makes me love them so much more. It makes me want to play that game more. Just because they treat us right. You know, they treat us normal. They don't try and get all the money out of us. And they're a small developer.
Yep, absolutely.
Techland, I think they're called.
Oh,
and it's
great too because they, like you said, they do kind of flaunt it and taunt the other developers a little bit, and it's just awesome to see that. Because, and actually, I think the one point I would like to make about that, and this is kind of a sidebar, so we're gonna go sidebar, and that is actually like developers want to do this stuff. That I think a lot of the blame, what we talk about with all this stuff all the time, a lot of it goes to the publishers. So devs want to make games. They're not doing 80-hour work days or work days. That'd be intense. Work weeks to get a game out at the end of it, to do this major crunch to have their game be just destroyed because they have day one DLC that's garbage and all of this stuff. They don't want that. So it's definitely, I think it's a lot of them publishers. So.
Yeah,
I hate day one DLC. Absolutely,
it's crazy. I can't.
I mean, I get the whole going, like the game goes green and then they have a month to work on stuff. I mean, I guess I get it.
Or you can be like EA Games and publish your golf game. Have day one DLC that you need to purchase in order to play a lot of the online tournaments and stuff. And the DLC was like $75 for these maps.
That's nuts.
Look at
like Scalebound now being delayed to 2017. You got what's that time bending game coming out this year? I can't think of what that's called.
What's it called?
Not the running one, or is it the running one?
No, you can like freeze time and like jet around.
Oh, we all suck. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Big game. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be really good. They just announced some huge stuff at E3 last year with some actors doing the voiceover
TV show with
stuff. Yeah, it's going to be a very, very cool game. But that one's been getting pushed back. The nice thing about that is they're going to come out with a polished product. Yeah. And it's going to be great. It's going to be good from day one. It's not going to have all these issues. All three of us picked up Assassin's Creed Unity, and I got some time in it, and it's a lot of fun now. But how long is that after release? I mean, that thing was a glitchy mess when it came out.
And we got it for, what, $8 because it had such a bad rap of what happened with the crap at launch. So, I mean, it destroyed that game. And, I'm trying to think of the name of that, and I keep going back to Point Break, and I know that's not it.
It's Break. Oh, what is it? Oh, that's so close. That is so close. Quantum Break. Quantum Break.
Quantum Break. All right, there you go. Starring Keanu Reeves. No,
yes.
it's not. It does not have
Keanu Reeves in it. Patrick Swayze. Their presidents.
When is the new Mirror's Edge game coming out? I've been pretty excited for that.
I think it's TBA.
Yeah, I don't know.
Also, going away from Xbox, which we don't ever really do, but Uncharted 4 was delayed too. Talk about a developer that does it right for games that we don't get to play, really, Naughty Dog. They, like, whatever, a game's not done, we're going to delay it 4 months. I think they delayed it. So, crazy. And it's awesome. It's great to see.
It's great.
Awesome. It really is.
It really sucks to have the games not deliver when you want it there, but just give me a game that works, and I'll be happy no matter when it comes.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, Master Chief Collection.
Yeah. Looking at you, Master Chief Collection.
That was gross.
I wanted my games now, but after I dealt with that, I will wait, and as long as it takes.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Patience is not a problem.
And speaking of publishers, I think there's some news from Activision, right?
So Activision Blizzard purchasing MLG, Major League Gaming, for $46 million. At first, I was kind of like, that sucks. It's going into the Activision hole, but at the same time, I think it could be great for esports.
Yeah, Activision's putting in a lot of money. Activision and Activision Blizzard, I guess you can consider them the same thing, but they're putting a lot of money and stake into esports. And I guess when you put this much backing behind it, you kind of they're going to make it work. It just seems like they're making a huge focal point. They're kind of coming into the game late, but
I feel like it's only a matter of time before Destiny blows up now. I mean, I know they have a ton of stuff that the community's been asking for, custom games, all that stuff before it can really blow up, but I think Destiny is only a matter of time until that one really gets... I mean, it's already getting boosted now, but it's only a matter of time before that thing takes off in esports, especially with this purchase.
Yeah, what do you think they're going to gain from purchasing MLG? You're gaining the community.
You're getting all that expertise from MLG, who's been running this for however many years. When did this start? Back in Halo 2, Halo 3?
Back in Halo 2. I think started seeing MLG clan tags.
Well, the guy who started MLG is the president of the esports division for Activision. They hired him.
Oh,
and
really?
Then he went back and bought MLG. So he started it whenever he was one of the, I think, co-founder of it. So, yeah, I mean, it's a name. It's a big name that's been kind of dormant. Like in the last couple of years, it's kind of reemerging, and it's something that can head this in the right direction.
You put a ton of dough into that organization, push it out there, big competitions, put Destiny, if that's the one you want to push at the forefront, make that be the big one that you push. Activision's happy because now they have this big esports presence. MLG and everything that's happening there is already getting pushed out there. I think it's only a good thing for esports in general. I hope.
I don't see Destiny.
You're going to see Activision and Blizzard pushing their own games really hard too for this esports stuff.
And they're rightfully so.
Yeah, you're going to see bigger tournaments for that stuff though. I saw a big Heroes of the Storm tournament a couple months ago, and you're just going to see massive Call of Duty tournaments.
Yeah, it's going to be big prize pools. I mean, what we're seeing right now with Halo is a big deal because it's rivaling that of behemoths like League of Legends. But I think now that this, beast of Activision Blizzard has a hold of this esports MLG division now, I think it's just going to keep growing.
Yeah, which is good. I'm glad they're...
it's great.
Games, it's fine. It's just going to bring esports in general more into the spotlight. So everything will ride on the coattails of that, which is cool. And I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah, hopefully. And then watch out for Overwatch, too. Keep an eye on that.
That's true. I mean, once that pops onto the scene from Blizzard, it's anyone's guess what's going to happen there. I mean, it looks fantastic right now. But that could have a huge competitive edge, too. Some other big news today is the Oculus Rift is now available for pre-order for $600. It's going to be interesting to see how this picks up with the kind of at least lacking software right now. The games don't seem to be there, given I haven't put a whole lot of really time into looking and finding, but I mean, maybe that's an issue. But at the same time, the cool thing for all the backers that were in on the Kickstarter, they're getting it for free, or whatever they put in for their backing at the beginning of this entire process. But in general, this is great news for VR, shipping at the end of March.
It's quick.
I think I'm doing it. I think I'm gonna pre-order one.
So much money, $600. I mean, they decided they're not going to make money off it. I believe them, but it's just so much money for this.
But it's so cool. I've been following it since the beginning, since the first time they ever showed the Oculus Rift online, and it just has my attention. I've wanted it since day one. I should have backed them. I don't know why I didn't. I was just nervous because it was developing, and I can't do any of that crap. I know I could have downloaded it, but I wanted to wait for more of a more polished hardware like this, with a lot more software, so I can just enjoy it and not just have to go out there and find builds of stuff. So I'm glad I waited, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah, it's good to see that it's coming out as soon as it is. I wonder how long it would have been if Facebook hadn't acquired them. What is it, 2 years ago now or so? I think that influx of cash for them to really start the development and accelerate it is good for the VR industry in general, and just pick it up. I wonder if this is going to have any impact on things that we're playing, first-person shooters. I don't know if it really applies there or not.
Here's my take. I'm probably the least excited for this of any of us. I don't know. I'm not that excited about it. When I play games, I like to be relaxed, sitting there knowing I'm playing a game with a controller or a keyboard, doing my thing on the game. I think that there's going to be a place where it'll be awesome. It'll be super cool to have the VR stuff, to have certain games with it. I'm trying to think of one that come to mind, but like it's just stuff like there's certain stuff that'll be really cool with it. But like something like Halo, I don't know if it. I don't want to see a Halo in a VR platform. What about you guys?
No, I feel like every game that comes out for VR is going to be this experience. I mean, the whole point of VR is you're immersed in whatever you're doing, and I feel like the games that really lend itself to an immersive experience are really going to shine. And I don't think that's anything competitive. I don't think that's anything esports, at least at this time. I saw a really, really cool one. I just read about it the other day on IGN or GameSpot. It's a rock climbing game, which looks amazing. It's in some like tropical area, and I don't know how it works at all, but the people were saying it's the most immersive thing. You're climbing up like this rock face, and you can look around side to side and see like the landscape, and you have to make like jumps from side to side and stuff. It sounds cool. Nightmare. It sounds cool, but it's like it's again. I feel like it's like those Kinect games, Kinect Sports. Yeah. Like that was kind of the same exact thing. So I don't know. I don't know how this will fare. I know there's a ton of more dough in this than there was in things like Kinect, but
right.
I don't know.
I agree. It's going to be totally about the experience. I'm not buying it for PvP in any way. Games like Skyrim, just walking around, if it's going to be like how they explain it and how people react online and stuff like that, I think it's going to be awesome. You're just walking around. If it really feels like it's putting you in the world, I could walk around Skyrim. I think $600 to walk around Skyrim like that's worth it right there. So that's why I'm buying it, because I know right off the bat there's going to be a Skyrim mod. There's no way there's not going to be.
I mean, the cool thing about it is this could spawn a whole new game like category. Like it could be like an exploring category, and that could be awesome because you could like take a Mars. Someone could build Mars, and you could go explore Mars, and that would be like so wild. Who knows?
Like what's?
Yeah, it could be like it could be crazy. There's like, I think that could be like a really big piece of it, just like immersive exploration of areas.
So think how cool it would be with games like Ark. You're just hanging out with your friends. You're out on the beach, chopping wood, like. I don't know. It sounds super exciting.
Yeah, but why would you want to be standing up and like this whole thing in Ark? I mean, I guess like because if you're gonna get the VR experience, you got to be like moving and stuff, right? I mean, you're just gonna be sitting there with the headset on, controlling yourself with the controller. I mean, that seems like you're just having like a close-up surround screen. So I feel like there's got to be a differentiation between that and like the full virtual reality experience, which I think it would be awesome. And maybe they can make something like that. I mean, they're going to go big with. They're already doing it with Minecraft. They're what's Microsoft? The HoloLens. HoloLens, not Halo. Yeah. So I mean, you see that kind of stuff happening with that. Well, I hope it remains a separate category. My worry is that it's going to be pushed on developers and games in a way that we don't want necessarily. As long as it's like games. Like we have in games that keep getting better. Gameplay to me is everything. Gameplay's king. And then take that and a separate category have VR. Don't blend the two. Don't try to blend the two. We don't need it to blend the two. Maybe I don't know. Whatever. God knows what will happen someday. But just keep those separate, please. Don't like push a game that we all like to play and then have it be VR and then just have it tank. That's my worry about it. So, but I mean, who knows? I mean, this is a whole unknown.
I feel like they'll keep it real separate, just like those Wii Sport games and Kinect games and stuff like that. It's definitely going to be separate. But for the moving thing, they do have some things out there that you can like stand on and they hold your waist. I think those are going to be expensive. And where are you going to put them in your house?
Yeah, like treadmills and stuff you're going to put in front of the TV.
I mean, I'm not looking to get out there and get too crazy. I don't mind sitting there with my VR headset on.
Like something like. I think it would be really cool. So a game that I'm excited for, For Honor, that it's like a third person over the shoulder medieval time knight samurai game. I'm super pumped about that. I've always wanted that type of game. Like I think I've been talking about that for like 20 years, just about. Like That's what I want. That game would be awesome, but that would be super cool to have in a virtual reality experience where you're going into like a battle like that as like something you cannot get anywhere else. Where,
That would be sick. Like you're running through the battlefield. You look down and you see a sword on the ground. You reach down, pick it up, and your guy actually picks it up, and then you start swinging it around. That could be pretty sweet.
Right.
Yeah, they're going to be coming out with more motion controls for it, but not until late 2016, I think.
Right. So yeah. So this is not now. This is not Oculus Rift thing. This is like what I would. This is what I would envision as like a super cool VR thing. Something like that you can't experience anywhere else. That would be doesn't need to be experienced in a different way. You know, like that's something. And I get what you're saying. Like that would be awesome. Just be like hacking and slashing and making movements and stuff like that, and blocking with your shield. And
I mean, the Xbox with Kinect, you got to think they can blend that, right?
Right.
Like they got to be able to figure out a way to do that.
That's what I'm hoping for. I think that HoloLens will be way better, but that's not coming out anytime soon. So
yeah,
that would take my money first for sure. But it's not.
They're making baby steps with it, which is a good thing probably. But exciting stuff.
All right, so back to Halo a little bit now, and with the latest DLC being out for a little less than a month, I believe, and Forge being the biggest thing. With some of the new community-created maps, there's puzzle maps, escape maps, like Saw, where you're in crazy rooms, you have to escape and do like jump puzzles and stuff. Kat and I played a really cool Wipeout-themed map where you're doing all these really cool jumps and obstacles. People are remaking Reach maps, Sand Trap, Barrel Mounds. It's unbelievable what people are thinking. I just watched a video last night, actually, of a guy who recreated the Star Destroyer or a Star Destroyer from Star Wars. And it's not a playable map, but it's just this awesome, massive model. It's the things people are thinking of to do with this is just blowing my mind, and it absolutely bugs the heck out of me that the four maps that we got for Big Team Battle were what they were compared to what we've seen so far in less than a month. And I get that the cartographers probably didn't have very much hands-on time, but my God, what the hell? Compared to what's out now, those things are, let's like refresh, start over, and put in some more community maps, because these things are badass. I mean, the Burial Mounds map Kat and I ran around on, Sand Trap, they're incredible.
There's no excuse. There's no excuse for not having. I mean, that may be what their excuse is to not hands-on type of thing, but that's not an excuse. They give them the time to have hands-on. Like, are you worried about 5 people leaking stuff? I mean, okay, like give them that ahead of time so they could have done what people have done in a couple of weeks. That's a no-brainer, and it seems like a massive oversight on 343's part. Yeah, I don't think it's a bummer for me, but it's awesome that people are doing it. So hopefully we'll get some of that stuff in.
Once they come out with some sort of like a legit file browser where you can go into Halo 5, pull up the file browser, and it's the list of most played maps, highest rated maps, maps
a voting
by
system?
Creator.
You know how we do the playlist? You know how we do the weekly playlist? Have a voting system for maps.
Exactly. I mean,
have 10 maps make it into that weekly playlist. How cool would that be?
Sweet. That would be awesome. They should have a community playlist, because these maps are incredible. People are coming up with like their own backstory for these maps. It's amazing. It's so awesome. And this is exactly what I was hoping would happen. And it's really kind of blowing my expectations away so far.
I'm impressed with the creativity that people have with all this stuff. I mean, going back through Burial Mounds, that one wasn't as accurate as Sand Trap. It was so cool to see how perfect they were with that Sand Trap map. You guys know I just love the whole custom game part of it. Anything that's not matchmaking. I could run around that Wipeout map that we did all day. I didn't even finish it because it was so hard at the end. I couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it. Had to give up.
Super jumps.
But I could download those maps all day if I'm bored.
Man. You can get just lost in those maps, and it's so cool. Just the creativity that once the community gets their hands on it. I mean, I've spent time on the Forge subreddit just looking at random stuff people came up with. Kat, you and I played one yesterday or the day before called Avalanche, and all it was this like slanted hill with walls on the side. It was something straight out of like MXC, that Japanese game show. Remember that thing on
love
like
that
Spike?
show.
Oh yeah,
did it have bad dubbing too?
Yeah, fantastic. This is like 3 a.m. That thing was on like repeat.
Oh, I loved it.
But we were playing this Avalanche map, and all it was is they took soccer balls and somehow they scripted it that they spawned randomly at the top of this hill, and they would just come flying down the hill at you, and you had to dodge them to make it to the top of the hill. We raced up it. We probably played it for 10 minutes or so, 10, 15 minutes. But it was just, it's so simple, but it was so much fun and something that you never think of, because Halo, you think of everyone playing Slay or killing each other, but this is like a maze thing. You know, it's like Griffball. Griffball came out of Forge, and now people are starting to come up with other stuff. It's so cool.
Yeah, and actually, I hope that we do see something like Griffball. I think so. I hope someone comes up with something that's a creative multiplayer experience that takes Halo and the controls and the physics of it and this Forge system and makes something like a really cool multiplayer like Griffball. I mean, you look at something like an indie game like Rocket League, which is just easy, simple stuff that's super fun. Like someone could totally do that with the Halo Forge system and make it a really cool, non-competitive, break from the typical Halo multiplayer, which would be awesome, I think,
Yeah, and they should definitely throw that in the weekly rotation too.
What about like Mongoose doubles? You got two guys on a Mongoose, there's a soccer ball. Guys on Mongooses have rockets. Your Mongoose is invincible, so you can't get killed, but you gotta fly around and shoot or run into the soccer ball into goals or something like that.
That'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah,
right? I mean, that can totally be done. Like, seriously, not that we could do that, but I'm assuming someone else could do that.
Yeah, not even Mongooses, Gun Gooses. So that
Sarge,
there you go.
Oh yeah,
you need to get on there and make that map ASAP.
Yeah. You're the autistic one.
Okay, I'll see you guys in like 2 months.
Sounds worth it.
But us, we're not forgers. We mainly play multiplayer all day long. We're in Arena, Warzone. That's our game, and that's what this weekly intel is all about. So let's get into it. Weekly intel. So this week, we kind of want to take a step back a little bit. We've been playing, all three of us together, since Halo 2, online together, all through high school, college, and past that. Now that we're all moved out and kind of living on our own, we've been playing together, but we really haven't taken a real team approach to the game. It's basically been focused on your own KD, your own kind of success in the game, and although we want to win as a team, but we've never really kind of taken a step back and looked at our teamwork and what we're doing. So we just wanted to take a little bit of time here and talk about some tips for beginner teams that are just getting into Halo 5. Maybe it's same situation as us. We haven't really focused on it. We're just usually hunting, running around the map, not trying to control, just kind of randomly trying to kill people. But really, once you get to the point where you're able to organize and keep some of these tips in mind, I think it really does help your game out quite a bit. Takes your enjoyment of the game up because you're not getting blown out. You have control. It's not so crazy. So let's get into it. I mean, MattyIce, you've been really trying to watch some streaming, follow some pros, and pick some things up. So what's something that you've seen so far that you would think is pretty valuable to pass on to guys just getting together now?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first and foremost for, I think all of us understand this, and most people do who play together in first-person shooters and multiplayer games in general, just communication is key. It really is. We still all have to work on this. When you get killed and you're somewhere, you call it out instead of saying, mother, God, whatever, Like, it's
or
tough sometimes.
Me,
you're frustrated. But
near me, in front of me.
Yeah, just communicate. Communication is so key. And also just, I mean, if you watch the pros play, like, they're constantly getting shot by or shooting people. Like, 3 of them are shooting one person constantly, all the time. Yeah, it's very rare that someone gets in a one-on-one situation and no one else chimes in. I mean, it's like super like cool how they plan their angles and stuff like that and their positioning. It's pretty awesome to watch, but definitely something that's key, and that comes in with I know we were talking about this earlier. We were talking about calling out people and learning the maps, and learning call outs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's important. You don't necessarily need to use the in-game names for everything. I mean, everyone has their own name for stuff. As long as your group is on the same page, you have top red, bottom blue. I mean, there's different names for those that are actually in-game. But as long as you guys all know where the callouts are, is sufficient enough.
Yeah, I
Chode
think
1 and
Plaza.
Chode 2.
I think
Sure.
Plaza's a really good example for us. We've kind of taken certain areas and given it our own names just because it makes sense to us. The area, I don't even honestly know what it's called. I think it's called Plaza. The area of Plaza is called Plaza, but we call it trees because that's where the palm trees are. And it's
trees.
Top trees on the ledge or in trees, and it just makes sense for us to call it that. I know that's not what it's called, but for us it works, and once someone calls it out, you know exactly where somebody is going.
Gets the point across quickly,
Exactly.
which is important.
And use
don't
consistent. Oh, go ahead.
No, you just don't want to. You don't want to think. You want to react.
Yeah, and another way to help with reacting is use consistent and easy to decipher clan tags. Because once you have each other's clan tags down, makes it so much easier.
Yeah,
Nope.
it's.
Gotta
you
have
think
the
it's
same
about
one with
looking
different
cool,
numbers.
like us, but it's true. I mean, you look at somebody, you don't want to have to think. Okay, PTP7, PTP8, PTP6. Who the hell is each of you? Because making call outs.
Which, to be honest, I'm getting better at deciphering your guys' numbers.
So this comes from
Sergeant, 7's Matt's, 4's T-Bird.
Cat. Blaze Cat has CATT as his clan tag, so that shows up above his names. Where we all went with the old school PTP, shout out to the Pound Town Penetrator days of NHL. So, I went PTP 7. I think Sergeant was, are you 8 or 6?
I'm 8.
He's 8.
8.
I know these now.
All right. So,
T-Bird's
so
4.
so we didn't exactly
Doesn't mean I like them.
properly, but it was fun. And I think with that, Cat's getting used to it, and a big part of teamwork and knowing what to do is playing together frequently, as frequent as possible. It helps. You know where someone's going to go. You know who's good with what weapon, who's better at this area, who's better at that area. Who's more like a runner and gunner who likes to kind of camp a little more. And when you get a feel for people, you can anticipate what they're going to do, and then you can move yourself accordingly to how it plays out. And that's all positioning. If you each know where the other person is going to be positioned, you can plan ahead of time, and you're not just off by yourself in some random corner.
It kind of breaks down to your map awareness, being able to protect your teammates next to you while still hunting yourself. Ways to make that a little bit easier would be kind of to protect an area. You don't want to camp behind a corner or something that's really small where the guy might run by and you might kill him. But just keep an awareness on your area. And if everybody's keeping an awareness on their own areas, they should all interclide to each other so you can keep an eye on each other while you're keeping an eye on the entire area. That makes sense.
It goes back to getting those team shots and being able to control the area so that you're all within, kind of, I don't want to say within sight lines, but you're situationally close to each other. And
Supporting range.
Supporting range, exactly.
Ah.
And kind of like what you said, Matty, it's kind of like with any sport. The more you play with the same people, the more you understand their tendencies, how they play, what they prefer. It's, the more that you and I played soccer together, the more I understood how to drop passes, how to make runs, how to not cross over to Rob and his side of the map and everything field. We all played high school soccer together just to fill everybody in. But
me and Sarge were on the left side. Cat was on the midfield on the right. So
yeah,
off by himself on an island.
But
crossing that pass like a professional every time. Right to left. Boom.
It just goes back to show that the more you play with each other, the more you know how that person is thinking, and it translates perfectly to Halo. The more you all play together as a team, the more you know where people are going to go. So it's all about reacting and being there to support and not having to think, okay, where's Cat going to pop up now because he's a lone wolf and he likes to go off by himself. It's really about kind of coming together as a team and being able to support each other.
I like that you say like knowing where people are going. That's actually something that I wanted to touch down on. Something that can help you get out of your funk. I mean, you can see yourself flow in the same areas every single time. You keep taking the same trails. Switch it up. Like let's use Plaza for an example. The tree area, I like it because you have 3 different ways to get in, or 4 different ways to get in there. You can take the stairs. You can take the car by the stairs. You can take the the blue door, and then the stairs with the gold door, and you can go up top. I guess there's 5 different ways.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you're gonna see yourself going the same way all the time, and just if all your teammates are always going the same way, it's gonna be a problem. So, I mean, switch it up. Have people go up to the top and just try to take different routes and not get in the same thing, because people are going to pick up on that. You're doing the same thing. You're looking for where you see them every time. They're going to do the same thing for you.
It becomes predictable, and if you're able to mix it up, especially if you're able to come into a certain area from 2 different vantage points, you're able to flank. So if Cat comes up through from the stairs by the car, comes up around the stairs, and I'm coming up from the door by light rifle, if they see him first, I already have an automatic flank from their side, and 9 times out of 10, we take 1, 2, however many in there down because they're focused on one, and we can easily team shot them.
Yeah, it's not following each other around and team shotting. It's knowing where the person's going to go and anticipating that, so you can be there at the same time or relatively same time. So you can team
because
fight
if you're right next to each other, following each other, you are sitting ducks. Someone can chuck a grenade, few shots, you're both down, and that doesn't help at all.
No, not at all.
Speaking of team shooting, if you don't get the kill on the guy, like, relax. Your teammate will get it. You get an assist. You don't have to get the kill. Don't chase them down aimlessly just to finish the kill off when you have 3 other teammates that are going to be more than capable to do that.
I always finish Cat.
Around you. Yeah, you'll get in this zone of chasing someone down for 1 kill.
Yeah, don't chase. Never.
I do it all the time.
Chase.
I'll admit. If I don't get that shot, it makes me mad.
That is the Birdman's mantra when he plays Halo, and he'll say it to himself at least once every time we play together. Why am I chasing? I should be chasing. Literally every time. He does it all the time.
It's the easiest habit to get into. I mean, you have somebody, you broke their shield, but they took cover, so you want to chase him down, but you have no idea if he has a teammate, if his shield's recharged. It's just sit back. Maybe your teammate will help you get the kill next time, or go somewhere else. Yeah, just take a second and chill.
And then kind of what we've been going on here as far as this goes, especially taking different routes and stuff like that. Excuse me. Having a strategy for the maps, like knowing what to do on what maps and stuff like that, power weapons, power positions, areas that you want to control, but being able to morph your strategy depending on what the other team's doing, being able to flow easily into something else, that's huge. Not just beating your head against the rock over and over again, especially if it's not working. Like, you got to be able to change your tactics and go on the fly. With something as fast paced as Halo 5, like, you have to be able to do that. You can't. You'll just get smoked if you continually do the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, you can't continually try to force. Can't force a square peg into a round hole. If you continue to try to do the same thing, they're just going to continue to beat you down, and you're not going to get anywhere. That definitely gets into something a little bit more advanced strategy-wise. But definitely,
a couple of them, yeah.
If you can think about it, and it really goes back to what Kat was saying, just don't do the same thing every single time. If you're getting pushed back, if you're getting rolled, really just take a second to think about what you're doing as a team, communicate it, and then shift and maybe take your entire team a different direction and trying to control different areas, because obviously what you're trying to do isn't working. So maybe you're trying, like Empire, you're trying to control that outside terrace, and the other guys are just out shooting you. Maybe it's a matter of going inside, taking the inside middle tower and controlling from there. It's just really kind of figuring out what is happening in the moment and just adapting.
Everyone's played the team that does the same thing over and over again, and you just smoke them, and it's fantastic. And everyone's been on the other end, too, where you're on a team that does that, and it's the worst, too, because then you just get rolled. So
I think one thing I've been noticing, one thing that I feel like you should do absolutely every game is right off the bat, storm the overshield.
If the overshield is on the map, that's huge. Plaza, we do that every single time, and it's pretty much a mad rush to it, but it can give you 5, 6, 7 kill lead easy at the beginning of a match,
which is nice.
Another thing, especially being a beginner in multiplayer, the pistol is more I mean, it's more advanced. You're gonna have a little bit of trouble with the pistol just because you have to hit the headshots, and the AR is, you have to remember that it has surprising range on it. I've been actually using it a lot more. If you zoom in on that, I mean, it's not the zoom in Halo doesn't affect the accuracy, and zooming in on that AR, if you're getting headshots with that thing from a distance, it's so powerful. I think it's so like underappreciated for long range, especially if you're a new guy and you're just spraying everywhere. Use the AR. You'll at least hit them a couple times.
And definitely take note of weapons on the map. It doesn't necessarily have to be a power weapon. SMG, bolt shot,
does work.
Light rifle. There are so
SMG.
many.
Storm rifle. The
Storm rifle.
Storm rifle and SMG just are, especially on smaller maps, it's incredible.
343 has done a great job balancing.
You'll see. Oh, absolutely. You absolutely done a fantastic job with it. Any weapon can kill someone.
Yeah, it's
but
nice
you'll
how
see
how they have the power weapons, but then they have these little medium power weapons. It's such a good mixture.
They excel at their own role.
Mm-hmm. But you'll see like pros if they play on the smaller maps. They'll go storm rifle and SMG all day long, and they won't even switch it. Like they'll just do that. Maybe one or two of them will get a long range weapon, but most of them are just hitting corners the way they're supposed to, getting good clambers and angles and stuff like that, and getting in close to use those weapons because they just will smoke someone. So.
And why not? Why
absolutely.
For a smaller map try and take a pistol in there? You're going to get beat every single time, most likely, if someone has an SMG, an AR, storm rifle. They're just going to light you up.
Absolutely. Don't make it harder for yourself, Easy is the way to go.
Exactly.
I feel like I get in that rut, just rolling around with my pistol, never switching to my SMG.
I think everyone does. I mean, you all get there, you're all like, I want to get headshots, but if you really just think a second, and really this has kind of been a theme that's kind of gone through everything that we've talked about, is just really not, you want to think. Don't always just do what is immediately reactionary after deaths. So if you die and something's not working, be like, all right, what didn't work? Okay, I ran in there with my pistol and it's really close range. All right, maybe try and use an AR and SMG next time as your secondary and not just always try and go for headshots.
A deep breath and a quick thought about what's going on can really turn things around for you and for your team. So
yeah, I definitely think there's been times where myself and you guys too, we get into a habit and something's not going right, and it's just like, we each have our times. We're like, come on, guys, let's keep it together here. We're doing fine. We can come back, and we've had plenty of matches where we come back and we end up taking a win because we've kind of slowed down a little bit. We've kind of rallied together, and we take them, and we change our strategy a little bit, and it's a matter of just taking a second to just relax, not be so up on the left stick sprinting.
I like they said that. I mean, attitude's huge. Attitude's a big part of this. Once somebody gets negative and whiny, you're done. There's no coming back from that.
That's me, by the way.
Yeah.
I rage hard.
The whole team gets demoralized.
You're demoralized.
Let's not demoralize anymore here. Let's listen to some awesome music for a few seconds, and we will be right back. Do not go away. We have an awesome closing coming out here at the end, so we'll be back in 30 seconds. All right, let's hit it. Hey, Sergeant Bobcat here. Wanted to thank you guys for tuning into this episode of Delta Halo. If you like what you're hearing, go ahead and hit subscribe on the podcast to stay tuned for everything else that we come out with, and even check us out on YouTube at Espawn Gaming. We continue to upload new videos there, and even the podcast. If you missed out on any other episodes, you can check it out. And feel free to drop us a line on Twitter at Part-Time Elite, or you can get at me personally at SGTxBobcat. Thanks again for listening. Let's finish up the episode. Welcome back. This is, the closing of our 8th episode, first episode of 2016. This is, been a pretty crazy ride so far. So excited to be back at it. This has been such a good episode. There was a ton of news to go through, and as we were going through it, we talked about the Forge, which has been out, and we mentioned a lot of maps and some of the cartographers that worked on them, people in the community that have been just putting in time, getting creative. It's been so awesome to see. But there are a handful that we'd like to call out from the maps that we've been on so far. I know there's so many more of you out there. We appreciate everything that you're doing. The creativity has been just blowing us away. But just from the maps that we've played so far, with Burial Mounds by Delta 5 or Delta V, Beaver Canyon from Aurelian, Avalanche from RBG Rampant AI, Cyberwolf made Recaged, Wyvern Zoo is Sandtrap, and the Wipeout map by Unsorted Guy. All of those have been so much fun to run around on. Kat and I have been getting into it, and thank you guys for making these. We just want to give you a little shout out to really thank you for the work that you put in so far.
I mean, Burial Mounds, I absolutely love you for making that. Thank you.
Kat is indebted to you, Delta.
Yes, especially after what we had from the last, I don't know what you call that, but it was not Burial Mounds. So.
I didn't like it at all.
Let's not talk about that one. That's
we're a little
not
salty.
To be named.
Moving on.
Any closing thoughts, guys? Moving into that 2016.
I'm excited. I'm excited for 2016. I like where we're all going with this kind of content that we've been putting out and stuff like that. I'm super excited for what the year can, have for us, and our love for games and creating content like this. I think it's awesome that we're getting this stuff going, and be on the lookout for much, much more from us.
Yep, I'm excited for improvements to the games and what we're going to see out of Forge now that we've had a little taste of it. That's going to get pretty crazy. And I'm really hoping that they start adding some more playlists that don't expire. Maybe some doubles that are always able to play. That'd be nice. That's what I'm looking forward to.
I'm excited for my Xbox Elite controller. I didn't mention it earlier. I have a review video coming out for it, hopefully this week. It is my baby. I love it. If you're on the fence about it, hopefully my review will kind of put you over the edge to pick one up if you can find it. I set up an alert on a website that told me when it came out. I honestly think for right now that's probably the only way you're going to be able to find one in stock, but it's fantastic. I can't wait to really start getting in tune with that controller.
Cool. I also have a video coming out. It's going to be a couple Destiny hard raid playthroughs, and one in particular. It's going to be the Destiny raid, the totems. It's going to be the sword glitch or sword strategy, whatever you want to call it. It's a how-to do that. So if you guys have never done that strategy or want to learn how to do it, it's an awesome video. It walks you through the entire process. It's really easy to understand, and I hope you guys enjoy that as well.
Pretty awesome.
Matt, you got anything?
Yeah, just to use the time real quick to give a little self-promotion. I mean, this will involve all of us, but I am working on starting up a pilot for a new podcast that I'll be doing. It's going to be called Beers and Bites. Actually, we're doing probably Bites and Beers, one way or the other. So we're still kind of working to figure out exactly what it's going to be as far as the title goes, but it's going to involve those two things. So video games, technology, nerd stuff, and beer. So pretty much everything I love.
You can't go wrong.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a games cast. For the most part, we're gonna focus on games, but just throwing some other stuff into it that we all love, and it's gonna be me and my friend Anthony, along with you two chodes as well. So I'm excited.
I'm pretty excited.
Awesome! Can't wait. This year is gonna be fantastic. We had a really strong end to 2015. Thank you everybody for all of the support so far. We're just getting started. Thanks for tuning in to episode 8. We'll catch you next time.
See ya.
See you guys later.
Get down.